Hi, this is Lesley Suzette, Inspiringly Natural here with another great video. Really excited today. Going to take a different spin and look at some what you would think, well, they're called unisex fragrances. I pulled these off of my husband's shelf because they lean a little more, in my opinion, masculine, but they can be considered unisex fragrances. So we're going to talk a little bit about what I pulled from my husband's shelf today. See you when I get back. Hi, welcome back. On this channel, we talk about all things beauty, all things fragrance, and all things self care. I have one goal, everyone out there, and that is to inspire as many women as I can to be their most best and most beautiful selves, both inside and out. So, this first fragrance that I'm going to share with you that I pulled from my husband's shelf is one that I actually purchased for myself. But then when I got it home and started wearing it, I said, you know what? This one definitely wears much more masculine than it does feminine. And I'm very careful about how I wear fragrances. I love a good unisex fragrance, but if it is like leaning way to the masculine side, I'm going to give it up. Same thing my husband does. If it's just way too feminine, he's going to give it up and let me wear it or give it to someone else. But this one is really nice. I've worn it. I do like it. It's a little powdery, more powdery in my mind than I would like, but it wears so well on my husband's skin. I'm telling you, there's something about my husband's skin with fragrances, especially masculine leaning or men's fragrances. He just wears them well. And so this is none other than by Yves Saint Laurent, and this is called Cabane. Cabane. Cabane by Yves Saint Laurent. You all, this one, they describe this as an amber woody fragrance for men and women. And it was launched in 2015. And the nose behind this fragrance is Carlos Banan. And then the top notes are elemi, pink pepper, black pepper, middle notes of olibanum, or osmanthus, tonka bean, sandalwood, and patchouli. I bet you it's the patchouli in here that's got me thinking that it leans a little more to the masculine side because it's rich in patchouli at the end of the dry down. But it is very, very nice. I think what caught my attention at first might have been the pink pepper, might have been even the black pepper and the elemi. But once it started to dry down, I was like, oh, osmanthus, olibamum, or however you all pronounce that. I think that made it lean a little more masculine for me. But when he wears it, I mean nighttime, but definitely I've seen I've smelled my husband with this on at church, in a nice suit, going out to a nice nighttime date night on a Friday night, Saturday night. He just smells amazing. I love this on him, and this one is worth the purchase. Again, that's Cabane by Yves Saint Laurent. So, you all, this next fragrance that I pulled off my husband's shelf is one that I pulled as a sample from soavantgarde.com. I pulled this one and I pulled another one. And the other one that I had pulled, it was the one that I ended up purchasing for myself. This one, when my husband smelled it, he was like, oh, yes, because it was very masculine leaning, in my opinion. I know a lot of you ladies out there wear this one, and it is a beautiful fragrance, but I really love how it smells on my husband. So this one is called Gris Charnel by BDK. Gris Charnel by BDK. Now, the Gris Charnel by BDK, beautiful fragrance. It was launched in 2019, and the top notes are cardamom, and that's probably why I wanted to try it. Fig, black tea, with middle notes of iris, bourbon, vetiver, and base notes of sandalwood and tonka bean. And you all, this one is a hit on my husband. This, when I smell it, I smell fig. Now, a lot of you have said, and he said it too, that the opening smells a little bit like a dill pickle. But the dry down on this is absolutely astounding. It smells so warm, cozy. I think it's got to be, when I think warm and cozy, I do think sandalwood and tonka bean. I'm not going to lie to you. Sandalwood and tonka bean are that kind of cozy, dry down fragrance that has you like wanting to cuddle up. And that's what this does at the end of it all. Gris Chanel by BDK, amazing. Now, this last fragrance that I pulled from my husband's shelf, we were at again, my girl in, well, a different young lady introduced this to him while I was with my girl at Neiman Marcus in Orlando, and he literally really fell in love with this one, and shared this with me. And he didn't get it. It was kind of up, a little pricey. But his birthday was coming up, so I knew if we ever came back, we were going to get this one to treat him for his birthday. And I believe he did end up getting this on his own. But this one is just beautiful. It's unisex. It is the most feminine leaning of his collection. I mean, all the rest of them are definitely masculine or men's fragrances. But this one is a nice, to me, in my opinion, a good spring, summer for him, because it's, to me, very green. And I sprayed a little bit of this on me, and it's already the sillage. You can tell this is a pretty nice, long lasting fragrance. I can smell it from my hand, and my hand is down far away from where I am, but I can smell it. The sillage is just kicking. It is beautiful. And this one is called Trouble Feet by Givenchy. Trouble Feet by Givenchy. And you all, this is just, it's different. And I can see why he likes this one so much. This one is an aromatic, fruity type of fragrance. It was launched in 2020, so it's pretty new. And it has fig, just like the fig in the last fragrance, Gris Chanel. Um, this one, you can smell the fig, but it's not the fig that's prominent. Let me tell you what's in here: fig, fig leaf, olivonium, just like we had in the caban, and sesame. That's it. That's all that's in this fragrance. I'm sure there may be others, but those are supposed to be the most prominent notes. Let me tell you what I smell. This is a very green fragrance, in my opinion. So, what that tells me is it's the fig leaf that I'm smelling. It is an extremely green fragrance. I am usually not a green fragrance lover other than my Elizabeth Arden green tea, because it's so fresh. But this one to me is kind of reminiscent. It's not green tea, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of that lighthearted, nice, green, fresh, but not aquatic at all fragrance. And I absolutely adore this fragrance. I can see my husband, this, I'm telling my husband, on his skin, everything smells good in my opinion. There was just maybe one or two that I didn't like on him, but usually when by the time it dries down, it's a different fragrance on him. But this one is so beautiful. It's so masculine on his skin. It's nice. It's fresh. It's green. And it makes you just want to wear it in the spring on a nice warm day. And maybe even in the summer on a nice hot day. I think he could get away with this one. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask him. But this is a gorgeous fragrance. Wearing to dinner, wearing to a lunch, wearing, men don't really do what we do. But I'm telling you how I feel, what I feel, where he could wear this. I think he could wear this to a lunch date, a dinner date, daytime, on a nice spring day, a nice summer day. I think he could get away with this one. I'd have to talk to him about when and where he wears this, but just from me smelling it it's still green. It is so green, but it's so good. Wow, that's nice. And it's got to be long lasting. I mean, the sillage is just, it's kicking. It is beautiful. And again, that is Trouble Feet by Givenchy. So there you have it. Three amazing fragrances from my husband's shelf. Uh, I'm telling you, they are winners. They are winners. So, I can't leave without sharing just a few words of inspiration. And I'm going to talk about being inspired. It is so important to let God inspire you, whether that be through just sitting and meditating, sitting and some people, pray. Some people read books. Some people read the Bible. Some people just sit and relax. And they just take that time to be inspired. Inspiration comes from so many things. Inspiration sometimes comes through our children, babies. Sometimes it comes through a book we read. Sometimes inspiration comes through a message that we will hear. Sometimes it's motivation that we hear on a podcast. It comes from so many places. And what do we do with that inspiration? Sometimes we take it in and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't receive it and take it in and say, you know what? I am inspired by this. I can take this and do something with it. I am encouraging you to take that inspiration and make it work for you. Last week we talked about when you get where you're going, use what you have. You don't need a lot. When you're inspired to do something, say something, be something, go ahead. Take advantage of that moment. Maximize that opportunity and run with it. I'm not giving advice. I am just inspiring you to not let anything, any gift, any aspiration, any dream, anything that has been put in you and you know you're good at, go to waste. I am trying to inspire you and encourage you to use what you have been blessed with. So, again, take that inspiration and run with it. Inspiration can come from so many places. Don't ignore the inspiration that's been placed in your heart, placed in your ear gate, placed in your mind, placed in your vision. Listen, you've got this. Thank you so much for joining and checking out this video today. It is my aim to inspire as many of you as I can to be your most best and beautiful selves inside and out. I'm all things beauty, all things fragrance, and all things self care. And I just want to thank you all for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't, maybe you've been watching me for a while and you haven't hit the subscribe button. It's okay. I'm asking you, me, Lesley Suzette, am asking you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It will really help my channel a great deal. Please, if you haven't, please hit that like button. It's the thumbs up button. Hit that like button. That helps my channel as well. And again, hit that notification bell and share this video and others with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. I really appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.